Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Wow, I totally did not think my yellow eyeshadow would show up that much, but I wanted to be whimsical today. I wanted to do something different, have a little fun, so you get what you get. I almost forgot. Before we get rolling, and just as kind of a refresher, I'm going to go back over the gratitude that was done on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So, Monday, let us be grateful to the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our soul blossom. Marcel Proust. Number 2, on Tuesday, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Marcus Aurelius. And Thursdays from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. So basically what he's saying there is we should be grateful for every good thing that comes to us, but we should also be grateful for the things that we don't realize have come to us. Just to reiterate, the roof over your head, the food in your fridge, the clean water coming out of your taps, all that stuff. Okay. So it's not just about being grateful when someone brings you something or gives you something. It's about being grateful all the time. And by doing this, you can dwell on the beauty of life and find yourself running with the stars. You know, when you dwell on the beautiful things around you, you start to see everything in a much brighter, more beautiful picture, really. And we should be grateful for the people around us that bring us joy, that bring us these lovely, wonderful things. Okay, so those are the gratitude lessons, 10 through 12. Sorry, guys, I know I'm so fidgety today, for this week. Now, we are here on Aloha Oracle Friday. I just want to go through some guidelines. I'm just going to read these because if I don't, I end up elaborating, and what I wrote down was exactly what I wanted to say and exactly says what I need people to understand. So, Oracle Friday guidelines. Number 1, do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So, if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. Number 2, do not try to make a card reading fit your question if the card does not resonate with you. Forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking. Good morning, baby sibling. And number 3, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book because someone took the time to put the book together. So those are the guidelines, all right? Let's get rolling with our angel answers. Good morning, older sibling. And, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to hit the mic. For everybody jumping on now in the live, I was just mentioning at the beginning, I did not think this eyeshadow would be as yellow as it was. I couldn't see it when I was putting it on, but then I forgot. I use this bright ass light now, so I kind of like it though. Feeling a little whimsical, you know. In fact, my hair is just a mess right now. Oh, there's literally a card that was stuck at the bottom. So I don't know who this is for, but within the next few months. So whatever you're waiting for, this card is for you. It is not part of the cards I'm going to pull. But if you're waiting for something, or you're waiting, maybe you put something out there and you're like, when? You will get what is meant for you within the next few months. All right. So these cards, nothing's popping out. So I may just do our usual thing, shuffle, pull from the bottom. Yep, nothing. All right, cut the deck in half. Let's go. Let us go. Number 1, yes. Wow, yes. Sorry guys. You know what? I apologize for being fidgety today. I'm just all over right now. All over. Like seriously, everything is, I feel very fidgety and I'm not sure why. I think that perhaps, I don't know, sometimes when I go through an energy change or I kind of start shedding stuff, I get all fidgety. Okay. So, it's like my energy is recalibrating itself going, okay, Shelly Marie, we're going to do this. So I will do my best to do my best for you. Also, just as a heads up, There will be no perspective on Monday. I know normally I do holidays and whatnot, but I'm just going to save gratitude lesson number, I think it was 13 and 14. I'll do them both on Tuesday. So don't worry, you will get both gratitude lessons. I will just cover them both on Tuesday. But I think, when it comes to holidays, people have things to do. People don't have time to jump on here. So, and I know it's just an American holiday, so maybe I'll do a short TikTok on it and post that. But just in case, I'll just post that to everywhere. But as far as the live goes, there will be no live on Monday. But here's your answer. Yes. I don't know what it is you're waiting for. I know I could use a big old yes right now. So yes. And trust it. If you are asking for something, you need to believe in it. If you're not believing it, you are basically shooting yourself in the foot. And all you're doing really is just wadding up that piece of paper and throwing it in the trash. Seriously, that's all you're doing. Because you're not giving it the room to grow. You're not giving it the belief, the respect, and the trust that it deserves if you're asking for something. If you're asking, then you're expecting to receive it. So when you ask, expect to receive it. This or something better, whether it's exactly what you asked for or what is meant for you. So bravo, the decision you've made is the right one. There's no need to continue to sort through additional options. You know what to do, and you should move forward with your plans. You've made the correct choice for your personal growth and development. However, some decisions can be a true challenge. If the task ahead of you is daunting or even sad, then proceed with your plans in a way that is life-affirming and self-loving. Ask your angels to be with you every step of the way, and don't hesitate to call upon friends and family for support. So I like that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Don't stop. Don't stop. So there you go. You've gotten your yes. So don't quit there. Keep doing whatever it is that you're doing that is bringing all this good stuff to you. Don't stop. A lot of times when we get the answer, we either, we might come face to face with our own fears. I had a big kind of epiphany last night. It was like I mentioned. I mean, a few friends reached out to me on Messenger to see how I was doing, but one particular friend they reached out and they're like, "Are you okay?" I mean, it was late at night. I was journaling. So I think at that point I was ready to talk. And I got this message and everything just seemed to kind of come out. And I really kind of had this epiphany about why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And, it was partly my fault. It was partly my fault. And, but it just kind of really opened my mind. And then I realized, this is another obstacle that I have removed and pulled out of my way. And this time, though, I didn't stop. A lot of times I stop and I get scared and it's like, oh God, what do I do now? And I didn't. I just thought, no, I need to keep moving forward. Tomorrow's a new day and I need to start implementing these things ASAP. So don't stop. Courage does not mean, I saw a great meme last night. Courage does not mean that we won't have fear. It means that we'll push through it. It means that when we come to that fork in the road, we're going to choose the path that pushes through that fear, that shows us, hey, you know what? You are capable of anything. Anything is possible for you. All right? So don't stop. Let's see what this has to say. Dun, 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 dun. This is not the time to give up. Continue to move in the direction of your hopes, dreams, or plans. You are on the right path and you should see progress as long as you stay the course. It's very important that you stand your ground and believe in yourself. Don't let others intimidate you into quitting. Just because they don't have your vision doesn't mean you shouldn't follow your heart. There are going to be a lot of times when people say, why don't you just give up? Why don't you just give up? It's like nothing's working out. And then all of a sudden, sometimes people will listen to that and they'll quit right before the miracle. They'll stop 5 feet before the finish line. That they, maybe you can't see the finish line, but they'll stop 5 feet before the finish line and they're so close. And sometimes people never realize how close they were because they listened to somebody else. I mean, if it is damaging your life, find a way to wiggle it in without ruining everything else. But stay passionate towards it. just because you might draw yourself back physically from whatever it is you're trying to manifest doesn't mean that spiritually or mentally your manifestation is going to go away. It just means that, yeah, you have other things that you need to take care of. So take care of them. Okay? I could be speaking to myself right now. But don't stop. Don't stop. That's the biggest mistake we all make sometimes as humans. I like this one. Trust. All right? This goes perfectly with the first two. This is exactly what I was talking about. If you do not trust the process, your yes is going to mean nothing, and you're going to stop. You're going to let that obstacle be in your way. You know, I was talking to someone yesterday morning on a very higher ethereal level, and I was like, I'm not really sure I should have posted that post today. I don't want it to be taken the wrong way. And I was really kind of worrying about it and panicking about it right after I sent it. But I literally got a message that says, don't delete it, because you are going to find your answer within that post. And I did. And it took some people reaching out to me and saying, hey, how are you doing? This is what I do to get out of my own way. This is what I do to kind of refocus my energies. And then, you know, like I said on Messenger, there was somebody that just opened up and said, hey, you know what? I saw your post. I really hope you're doing okay. And it's another empathic person I know. And this is a person I tend to bounce things off of every so often, that also bounces things off of me. There's a lot of similar traits. It's almost like we're twins, but, or, you know, or some kind of sibling thing going on there, because you know, there's like sometimes there's anxiety about certain things that we know we shouldn't have anxiety about, or we get kind of overthinky about things. And that's where trust came in. And I knew that as I was talking, that somehow this was going to come out. And this is someone who is completely removed from, you know, anyone I actually, well, I mean, I know them, but people that I know really, really well. And so it was good to have that insight, that, you know, that insight that's removed. So it was unbiased insight, you know, and it was helpful. And because I trusted, I opened up and I found my answers. I found what was hurting me. I found why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And, you know, I like to post positive things, but let's be realistic. Not every day is great. And I don't always post things like that anymore. Sometimes I used to, just because I needed to be reassured that I was an okay human being. But this time it was because I really, really felt that way. There was just this deep pain in my heart that I was feeling about certain subjects and certain people. And I realized that it was something I had to move past, that I had to start making myself a priority. So when you trust the process, no matter what it is, even if they feel like just baby steps are giant leaps. Okay, because you're heading in the right direction. You're heading in the direction you're meant to be heading into. And when you trust that process, you will get there. So, communicate clearly. Communicate clearly. The one thing that I noticed yesterday when I was having that chitty chat was I literally said to my friend, I wish I had come to terms with this before it got so big. When I first started having this feeling, I thought I dealt with it, and I hadn't. And I knew I hadn't, because I kept feeling it from time to time. It kept bothering me from time to time. And I knew that I should communicate it, even if it was just to my journal. Because, you know, I have tried to have conversations with people, and it gets turned in the other direction. It gets taken the wrong way. There's denial there. And it's not mean conversations. Just, you know, sometimes people don't want the mirror put up to them, because they don't want to feel any more broken than they might already feel. I hated having mirrors put up to me. And I don't mean the mean one that says, oh yeah, well, you act like this. But no, the mirrors that say, hey, there are things in you that need to be healed. But a lot of people don't want to feel that way. They don't want to feel like they don't have control. And sometimes we have to let go of control to figure out how much control we actually have. You know, what we can control in our lives. Sometimes we over-control, we overthink things, we put too much anxiety, or, you know, we create too much anxiety in our lives because we overthink things, because we stress about things. You know, I was talking about how I had a friend the other day that we were trying to get some of her paperwork done for a very huge life event that she was going through. And finally, after all this frustration that her and I were trying to deal with this paperwork she was trying to figure out, because she was asking me for help. I have no idea. I've never been through this before. But I literally just asked her, I'm like, do you think maybe we're overthinking this? Do you think maybe we should have just kind of simplified this? And we both kind of agreed that, yeah, maybe we were overthinking it. So be careful with that. Communicate clearly, okay? Say it with kindness or say it with empathy. If you come at somebody full speed with anger, there is no clear communication that'll be happening. Because what'll be happening is you'll be saying what you're saying, but they're either going to be shutting down or getting angry because they're being yelled at. I have had to learn that the hard way. Not the easiest lesson to learn, but when you approach somebody with calm in your voice or some type of empathy or just in chill mode as you can be when you really, really have something you want to get off of your chest, when you communicate clearly and you don't let it fester, you can move forward. But also, the flip side of communicate early or clearly. When you're manifesting, when you're praying, when you're trying to set an intention, be clear about what you want. Don't just say, oh, I want this. This could be a lot of different things. Be clear. Be clear about your intentions, your prayers, your manifestations, and trust it. Trust it. Okay? In fact, I don't even think I read the trust one. So we'll read that and then we'll go to communicate clearly and then we'll move on. So trust. This is a time for trust. Sometimes there is no yes or no to a question. There are situations where we are better served by not knowing what is to come so that the miracle can unfold before our very eyes. Like children opening a gift, part of the magic of our lives is found in the joy of surprise. I like surprises. Trust that your angels have something amazing in store for you, even if they can't quite tell you what it is. So, when I start tapping in and I start communicating, someone I know very, very well always likes to have the answer. Like, well, do they say we're going to blah, blah, blah? And it's like, they're not going to tell me. They're not going to tell me because they just say you have to trust. You have to believe that everything's going to turn out the way you want it to. And, I think that is good because, do we really want to ruin the surprise? Surprises can be fun, right? Surprises can be nice. So, and I'm kind of bad at that too because sometimes I just want to know, but then I think, well, when you know, it does kind of ruin the surprise, doesn't it? I shared my Christmas story I think it was last week, and how, peeking at a present way before Christmas actually made my parents think that I didn't like it when I loved it. But the only person that knew I loved it was me because I was celebrating by myself when I peeked in the present. And then come that day, I couldn't fake it well enough because there was no vibe, and my parents do pick up on vibes. So I'm not sure I ever came clean to them, but I think over time they realized how much I did love it. So communicate clearly. The situation requires very precise and careful communication. Don't assume that others involved understand what you want or need from them. In-person discussions are preferable, but if that's not possible, make sure that your communication method is very thorough. This card can indicate that there has been a miscommunication that is creating a challenge for the parties involved. By clearing up any misunderstandings, you can heal the situation so that everyone can start moving forward again. I have had that happen to me. It was suggested to me that I do communicate with, some of the issues I was having, and I have tried, but when people are in a different mind space than you are, they don't always want to have that communication, whether it's siblings or parents or friends or partners or whatever. And this was just kind of more of a wide variety of things. Nothing very, very specific. So, but when, like if you're having a struggle with your friends, if you're saying, hey, you know what, I'm feeling a little disregarded or discarded or pushed aside, and that I feel like sometimes you only, call on me when you need something, not just to hang out, but if you need me to do something for you, if you want me to do something for you. And so sometimes you have to communicate that clearly too, because they may not realize that that's what's happening, and if you don't communicate it, it'll just keep happening. It'll just keep going on that course, because that's how they're going to start to view the friendship or the relationship. All right. So here's the last one. Within the next few weeks. I don't think that's part of this deck, but whatever it is that all I see is the yes card. So anybody out there who got that yes that super resonated with them within the next few weeks. You know what I forgot? Yesterday was Thursday. Yesterday was exactly 3 weeks to Comic-Con. And I have to tell you, I am so super duper excited about that. It has been 3 years since I've been to Comic-Con because, as you know, the world was locked down for the last 2. So, yeah, I've got all the feels about that one. All right, so those are the cards. So remember, yes. All right, yes. But actually, you know what? I think these are actually meant to be read this way. If you communicate clearly and you trust and you don't stop, you're going to get your yes. All right? So, one last time, we'll go back over these. If you communicate what you want clearly and you trust in what you were trying to set your intention for, pray for, or manifest, you trust it and let it go and let your powers that be, your source, do what they need to do. Remember this or something better and leave them wiggle room. And you don't stop believing and you don't stop trusting, then yes, you are going to get whatever it is you are asking for in whatever way it is intended for them to deliver it to you. It may not come the way you expect it to, but it will come. All right. So I want to go to the Heal Yourself deck because just because I've been going through my own healing and I really, really like this deck. Sometimes I think it does as much for other people as it does for me. I guess. Oh, that's a good one. That feels about right. Let me see if anything else comes out. If anything else comes out, then we'll know that that card is specific, but nope. Oh, Pride. All right. Yeah, I can see where those two could be an issue. All right. Our 2 cards are Self-Sabotage and Pride. Oh boy, did these two go hand in hand. Kind of spooky looking too, aren't they? I think we had Pride the last time I pulled this deck. But I'm going to start with Self-Sabotage and then we're going to move on to Pride because... Oh, actually I opened up right to the page of Pride. So we're going to start with Pride and then move on to Self-Sabotage. And actually, that might actually be the better order because Pride can cause you to self-sabotage. That's right. You may be acting out of arrogance and vanity. Humility is the key. You may be acting out of arrogance and vanity. Humility is the key. When you are prideful, you can become harsh and not conscious of your weaknesses. This can temporarily make you feel more powerful and superior to others, while at the same time cause you to be judgmental, unteachable, and hardened. Have you been fighting, quarreling, and disagreeing with others? Are you always trying to prove a point and defend your position? Do you think that you're always right? By holding on to shadow pride, you are stopping yourself from progressing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Stop overestimating your importance and learn to be humble. When you are too proud, you cannot hear the other people's advice and cannot receive their assistance. Empowerment means that you can be soft, caring, aware, and gentle. Recognize that you need other people's support to achieve true success. I don't know. I got nothing to add to that. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Have you been fighting, quarreling, and disagreeing with others? Are you trying to always prove a point and defend your position? You don't have to prove a point. Everybody is allowed to have an opinion. Everybody is not going to have the same opinion. But when we stop and listen and we have adult discussions about things, or even just mature discussions about things, we can start to see what's different around us. We can start to see maybe putting ourselves in somebody else's shoes and seeing where they're coming from, where their perspective is. You know, a lot of times we don't want to talk to people because we don't want our minds changed, and that's okay. But if you're going to sit down and have a discussion with somebody, or you're going to engage, just understand that they may not respond the way you want them to. They may not have the capacity in that moment to have a mature mature conversation with you about something. And I don't mean that they're acting like a child, but some people are so set in their mindset that they don't want to hear what somebody else is saying. Okay? So, self-sabotage is the other. Become conscious of how your inner saboteur functions. You are about to sabotage a big opportunity. Ugh. Okay, get your pride in order there. Now is the time to stop procrastinating and cease focusing your energy on why you are unworthy of wonderful, enriching experiences. When you connect to the saboteur archetype, you begin to recognize all the ways you pass up interesting opportunities and relationships which could make you grow, learn, evolve, and become fulfilled. The saboteur is terrified of change and guards your heart from that which is meaningful to you, with the misguided belief that if you don't try, you can't fail. It forgets that if you don't escape from your comfort zone, you cannot succeed and experience the love and joy which would fulfill you. On the lighter side, the saboteur can help you connect to your intuition and help you to listen to your deeper wisdom. It can assist you in deciphering a potentially dangerous situation from an exciting one. Oh, that's spooky, right? I really, really like that card, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I can be a Class A saboteur. I can be one of those people that are so dumb that they quit before the finish line. You know, that they just listen to everybody else and just kind of whatever. You know, they just like, yeah, I'm not going to listen anymore because, you know, you have no idea what I'm feeling. You have no idea what I'm going through. And in a way that's self-sabotaging because you don't want to hear what other people have to say. And I think maybe the post that I had on Facebook yesterday was, I know a lot of people can't see it because I can't remember if I made it public or if it's just private to my friends and people that are friends with me on Facebook. But I do believe I put it on Instagram. And when we shut ourselves down to what people are trying to say to us, oftentimes, you know, we are shooting ourselves in the foot. We are self-sabotaging, and we're self-sabotaging out of pride because we think we know what's best for us. But the truth is, life, even though you are the one who's in control, life is kind of a team sport. You know, you have, you may be the captain of your ship, but there are other people helping it run. You know, you have the engineering support, you have the medical support, the health support, your conscience support, you know. It's so funny. I'm running through all these Star Trek characters in my head. You have your guidance people. You have the people that are flying the ship. And, you know, I know that doesn't really make sense when I'm talking about an individual, but you know, people always say it doesn't take a village to raise people. It does take a village, but I just don't think people realize that. You know, when I go to families' houses, you know, when the kids are young, sometimes they're like, Mom, so-and-so scolded me, but they're not my mom, and blah, blah, blah. And but they're your auntie or your uncle, and you need to listen to them. If you're misbehaving and an adult is scolding you, you need to think about what you did, not what they're saying to you. And so it was always kind of free reign. You know, the aunties and uncles always had domain over us if our parents weren't around. And I think sometimes we forget that. You know, we forget that it takes a lot of people to be there for us. We have a community. We build communities for ourselves so we can have people to bounce things off of. So we can have a lot of different people to kind of fill in those voids when we're feeling less than and feeling kind of just in our own pain, lost in our own pain. So, God, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so fidgety today. But when we lose ourselves in our pain, that's when we tend to self-sabotage. So release your pride. Release your pride. Allow people to help you. Allow people to be in there and say, hey, you know what? I got you. Okay? So let's move on to, I'm going to stick with the theme, healing with the fairies. Healing with the fairies. And then we'll go to, I have the messages from your angels, but I'm not sure I want to do that one, only because we just kind of had angel answers. So healing with the fairies. I like this one. We're sticking with the healing theme today. Not sure if anything's going to pop out. That's a good one. I just saw it. Let's see. Woo. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, I did not see that one flying out of the deck. All right, the first one that flew out of the deck was peace of mind. Peace of mind. If you really go back to what the cards in the other deck says about communicating clearly, trusting, don't stop, you get your yes. We can tie that into the pride and self-sabotage cards. Because if we're not communicating clearly, we're not trusting, or we do stop, that's pride, that's self-sabotage. But if we communicate clearly, including with ourselves, we can find peace of mind. We can find peace of mind. We can move into that meditative state. If you feel like you're not good at meditating, journal. If you feel like you're not good at journaling, maybe you're a runner. Think about when you're exercising, how your mind just focuses in on you nurturing your body with whether it's strength training, whether you're on a treadmill, whether you're on a bike of any sort, whether, all these different things, whether you're doing laps in a pool, everything just kind of fades away. Now, I'm not sure that other people would agree with me, but to me, these are other forms of meditation. Things that clear your mind, that give you clarity. You'll see people that are having a bad day. It's like, I'm going out for a run. I need to clear my mind. That's meditation of sorts. That's finding that clarity and giving yourself that peace of mind. It's removing the chatter because you're doing something you love. Maybe you're just going out for a drive. Sissy and I, when she was still alive, we would go out for midnight drives, and we would go out for hours and hours. And, I could tell sometimes when she was quiet that she was contemplating things, that she was going through all these different things in her head. But I knew it was peaceful for her because she wasn't just sitting in her house in her own head overthinking everything. She was just looking. She was just existing in the moment. And I think sometimes, although I can't speak to the honest truth of what she was thinking, but knowing how well I knew her and how she really was one of my soul sisters, I truly, truly believe that it was just something to take her mind off of everything that was going on. And I think sometimes her thoughts would get dark because, that's when she would open up and be like, I'm just worried, I'm scared, and blah, 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 and we would talk. And then it would move into fun stuff. And then sometimes she might move back into her quiet space again and just kind of exist in the moment. So peace of mind isn't always easy to come by, but when we allow ourselves to have that, you are worthy of having peace of mind. I think a lot of times we do things in life that we want to punish ourselves for. And you don't need to punish yourself, okay? If you were hard on yourself when whatever it was whatever decision you made first happened, leave it there. Okay? You're not crazy, you're not a psychopath, you have felt it. But don't continually punish yourself, because then you're never going to move forward. Now this one I find interesting. Romantic partner. I don't know who needs to see that. Sorry, I had to. It made me laugh. It made me giggle. What is life if you don't have a little bit of levity? I know. So anyways, I can't see how anybody couldn't find my yellow eyeshadow unattractive. Seriously, I feel like I have highlighters on my eyelids, but I know. I made the choice. I made a bold choice, and I'm sticking with it. At least it matches my outfit, which was the whole point. But I did not think it would overshadow my entire outfit. But anyways, romantic partner. I didn't read the peace of mind card, but I like how these two pop. Whoop. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I like how that one flew away. I like peace of mind can actually lead you to something like this if you trust it, because peace of mind is trust. When you have peace of mind, it means you're trusting the process. It means that you're trusting everything is going to work out the way it's meant to, without you forcing it, without you feeling like, it needs to be now. Just trust the process. And when you have peace of mind, maybe for whoever is specifically asking about this, it could bring you your romantic partner. So let's see. Peace of mind. Make peacefulness your highest priority. Commit to taking steps to ensure peace of mind and take those steps without delay. Peace of mind isn't something you have to earn or acquire, since your true self is already peaceful. Instead, it requires being like a sculptor with a block of marble who works with this material until the inner masterpiece is revealed. If you'll make peace of mind your main focus, you'll inevitably feel a great sense of relief. Did anyone catch how I tripped over that word? If you'll make peace of mind your main focus, you'll inevitably feel a great sense of relief. Steps that create peace of mind include being honest with yourself, living according to your inner guidance, being helpful and kind to others, practicing meditation or yoga, eating only healthy foods, avoiding toxins, maintaining healthy sleep habits, avoiding negative people and media, surrendering your problems to God, communing with nature, simplifying your life, and saying no when you need to. You can pick and choose what works in there for you. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, okay? You know how to live your life the best. But that's just certain things that they're talking about. However, I will say this. The very last one, saying no when you need to, that one I am going to put my name on. Because I think we all need to learn how to do that. If you are not feeling up to something, say no. Say no. Don't go just to please the masses. All right? If you need to take care of yourself, take care of yourself. If they are true friends, they will understand. So the affirmation, my mind is now peaceful and I know that all of my needs are automatically taken care of. I can rest easily, assured that all is well. All right, I really like that card. I mean, who couldn't use peace of mind, right? So romantic partner, woo, this is a good one. A new romance is coming your way. Either a new partner or a revival of passion in an existing relationship will delight you now or in the near future. Hey, maybe that's what that card meant within a couple of weeks. Anyways, by drawing this card, the fairy realm wants you to know that a new wave of romance is coming your way. Romance could manifest itself in a number of delightful forms, such as meeting a new partner who makes your heart sing with excitement and passion, or rejuvenation of a waning romance with a current love. Perhaps the new romance will take the form of an exciting getaway, such as a tropical vacation, a night at a quaint bed and breakfast inn, or an evening of dinner and dancing. Fairies love romance, and they know the importance of feeling passion in a relationship. Ask them to help you with imaginative ideas to create more romance in your life. They remind you that romance is a state of mind, and it involves playfulness and creativity, which also comes from having peace of mind, okay? Sometimes when we're stressed, we crave romance the most, yet we may not know how to experience romance. That is, you know what? I'm sorry. I got to stop right there. That is one of the most profound statements I think I've ever heard. Because, you know, there have been times in my life where I've been so stressed, so anxiety riddled, and it's like, oh, I just wish I had somebody, blah, blah, blah. But then I love this part. And yet when we get it, we don't know how to experience it. I've been there. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened there. If I lost you guys, I apologize. So I'm just as a side note, that happened because I have this Norton antivirus thing on my phone, and it is driving me fucking nuts because it just randomly says, hey, connect to your VPN. We don't trust your connection. The connection is my personal Wi-Fi. But I don't have a VPN because I don't work in an office. So someone around here has a VPN and it keeps trying to get me to connect to it. So I apologize for that. But just to repeat, in case that didn't go through, sometimes when we're stressed, we crave romance the most, yet we may not know how to experience romance. So that's something I got to keep in the back of my head. Let the fairies help you relax, allowing an inflow of romantic ideas to easily come to your mind, and also giving you the energy to put them into action and enjoy them to the utmost. The affirmation, I am a romantic person. I release any fears I may have about giving or receiving love. You know what? I feel, you know what? This one really resonates with me because I'm not even in a relationship, but I tend to overthink everything. It's like, what happens when I get into a relationship? What happens if this, we get to this point? What happens when we get to that point? It's like, you know what? I haven't even met somebody yet or gone on a first date, and I'm sitting here overthinking a relationship that doesn't even exist yet. And how many of us do that? And when we do that and we don't have the peace of mind about it, we don't have that trust, or we're not relaxing, we're probably holding off something beautiful. Okay, baby sibling's so funny. She says, she's all laughing my ass off. I'm on my work VPN. I disconnected it. And I guess she disconnected at the same time that happened. That is weird. Okay, but that just shows a show that not only are her and I connected, clearly my electronics love her too. So, anyways, so my point on this is, have that peace of mind. Okay, we don't know what is going to happen in any relationship, but one of the classic old Shelley moves was to get a little too deep before anything even happens. I mean, if you are literally on a coffee date with someone for the first time, maybe you've met them before and you didn't get a chance to know them, but they're like, hey, you know what? I may have met you before. I don't know. Don't overthink it. Just sit there and enjoy this person you're getting to know. They may not be the one. They may not be the person, but you don't know that, because they might be. And if you start overthinking it with your pride, and with your pride, because you want to protect yourself all of a sudden. It's like you might be sitting there going, oh yeah, this person's great. And they may say one thing and be like, oh, well, whatever. You're going to self-sabotage this. Okay? The beauty of relationships is not everybody is exactly the same. And that's what I think brings the joy to it, because you can learn new things about other things. You can learn new things about people. You don't want to be exactly the same. I mean, that might work for some people, but where's the adventure? Where's the sense of adventure? I mean, they say opposites attract for a reason. And sometimes you may not be that opposite. But don't go into a romantic situation self-sabotaging it before it even gets there. Like I said, I haven't even met anybody, but I sit there and I think, oh my God, what happens when I meet somebody? Well, what if I don't do this right, or what if I don't do that right? Stop. Just stop. Put the big stop sign in front of you, because all you're doing is hurting yourself. You're not hurting anybody else but yourself. And maybe that person, because that person may really, really like you, but you have literally just decided to overthink your way right out of it. Hasn't even begun yet, but you may have decided to overthink yourself right out of a potential situation. Or you may be overthinking so much that this person just can't tap into your energy and reach in. You don't want to do that either. Okay? Find that peace of mind. Stop worrying. If somebody asks you out, it's because they want to get to know you, or they want to see if things can go somewhere. Don't worry about what you think you look like. Don't worry about what you think their people might think you look like. Don't worry about what you think your people might think of them. Relationships aren't about the people around us. It's about the two people in that relationship. And I think sometimes we all like to butt in or put our 2 cents in. And sometimes we're going to make mistakes. Have you ever, this has happened to me a few times, where, including myself saying this, and I should have known better because I'm usually the one people are saying it to. When you're with somebody who's not right for you and they're toxic, right? And everybody says, oh yeah, I'm glad you finally broke up with this person, because, maybe they're a great person, but you two together were like oil and water. And they're like, well, why didn't you say something before? And it's like, really? I think we all need to remove that sentence from any kind of post relationship communication, because here's the truth. Would you have listened? No. You would have thought they were just trying to sabotage you. Sometimes we have to learn our lessons on our own. Sometimes, as much as we want to be there for other people and tell them, hey, you know what? You have to let them live their own life and learn their own lessons. Okay, I've had to learn that the hard way in many different ways. So, here's our last deck. Magical Unicorns. So, Magical Unicorns. Let's see. Let's see if anything pops out. If not, ooh. Oh, every time I say that, something flies out of the deck. All right, let's go with one more. Okay, 4 more. 3 more. Okay, glad no more came out of there. That was a lot. You needy people. I'm just kidding. No, really, I'm just kidding. All right, here. I'm just going to mix these up since they all just kind of flew out of the deck. I don't think they have any particular order, but all right. Try something new. Oh, that's interesting. You'll know that you can do something if you try. You'll only know that you can do something if you try. I'm sorry, I got hung up on the picture. An orca, a unicorn, and a dolphin. An orca and a unicorn and a dolphin go swimming together in the ocean. I feel like that could be the beginning of a joke. I mean, not like this is a dumb idea, because I think that's a great idea, but you know what I'm saying. Or what would have been fun if that was a narwhal, the unicorns of the ocean. So anyways, you'll only know that you can do something if you try. I do like this though. 3 very, very different animals. 3 very, very different animals. All swimming together. You know, orca's not trying to eat one of them yet. So just be careful of that orca. But I think try something new is good. You know, if you're one of those people who struggle with peace of mind and you're constantly self-sabotaging your relationships, guess what? Guess what? It is time for you to stop and try something new. Try something that will work. Stop, sabotaging yourself. Seriously, have you guys watched this whole time? I don't know how many hairdos I've gone through since we started. But trying something new can help. Maybe if you want to meet people, go to a cafe, go to a Starbucks, go have lunch by yourself at maybe an outdoor cafe. You never know what's going to happen. You know, one of my boyfriends I randomly met at a football game. As a big fan of this one team, they were playing my actual team, but and of course, sorry, hometown allegiance comes first. But I do like to see the other team play, so I got excited. But the only tickets my dad could get me was in the opposing team's area. I know, right? But I didn't care. Walked in with my jersey, like, yeah, okay, I don't care who you're cheering for. This is who I am, and I'm doing what I do. And, I mean, not with that much attitude, but it's how I look in my head. That's how it was. In reality, I was just kind of like, hey. But I met one of my boyfriends there. Turns out to be one of those where you learn those hard life lessons. But the point is you never know where you're going to meet somebody. You know, it can just be so random. So random. And don't worry, because, there are people, I went to a psychic once, and she was so funny, because she's funny, because she actually told me, she's all, whoever you end up with, they're going to be well known. And I kind of wish she hadn't told me that, because I also got that from baby sibling. When she did a reading for me. So this is 2 different people, completely independent of each other in 2 different states. And I just went for my birthday. An older sibling was sitting there, so she knows. I kind of wish she didn't tell me that, though, because it freaked me out. It's like, because, when you think well known, you think, oh my God, they're not going to want me because I don't fit the mold of what, you would think that other people, and I just overthought it. Now, I don't know what's going to really happen in my life. Who knows? But whatever happens, I know now from my own reading, right? You should see all these cards I got laid out here. That I'm going to try something new. Trying something new isn't always about physical and activities. It's about mental things too. I'm going to flip the narrative, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore, because I have spent so much time worrying about it that I've kind of affected my own life. I haven't been living the life I know I deserve, and that I have imagined for myself, and that I am worth. Because no matter if someone is well known or not, they're just a human being. They're still just a human being. Sure, maybe more people may know who they are than they do know who you are. Yeah, you'll probably get some judgy people, but you're going to fucking get judgy people no matter where you go, no matter who you're with. There's always going to be somebody out there that has to have an opinion. And, or has an opinion and has to share it out loud. And maybe that's their own insecurity. Don't let other people's insecurities affect you. Okay, I need to take my own advice on that, and I'm being completely honest. But having seen that card and having all this stuff fly out of my mouth without even realizing it, and the fact that I did not want to share what I just shared about a reading that I received from baby sibling and a different psychic, I never thought that would come out of my mouth. Was not intentional, but I think maybe it needed to be said for whatever reason, it was literally forced out of my mouth. And basically by that I mean someone lifted the filter gate and said, sorry, Shelly, we're overriding you. It's like being a computer being overridden. I think what we're meant to remember is they're still just people. At the end of the day, they do everything the same way we do. You know, all the basic human life things. And what we have to remind ourselves is that if you feel you're a good person, if you feel that, you know, you deserve all these wonderful things, and you realize, because you do, no matter who you are across the board, you're worth it. You matter. You have merit. Remind yourself, it is a privilege to have access to your energy. Whoever I end up with in life, it will be a privilege to them to have access to my energy, just like it will be a privilege for me to have access to theirs, not because of who they might be, but because it's your people, your friends, your family. It's not always about romance. Anybody who is in your life that brings beautiful things to your life that you love to hang out with, you are privileged to have access to their energy. If you bring something to their life and you make their lives better, they are privileged to have access to your energy. And the reason somebody put that term out there was because if there are people who just suck the life out of you, you can say no. You can say no. So that's where I'm going with the try something new. Flip the narrative. Flip the narrative on bad things. If you feel like, because you might be a person that goes out and tries new things all the time, but how's your mental health? I know I have a dinged up mental health I have to deal with. That's just one of the myriad of things that I thought, oh God, they're not going to want someone as broken as me. But I'm not broken. Well, I am kind of broken, but I'm like the Japanese art. I believe it's kanji, right? Most people would just throw things away. But the Japanese have a form, an art form that I'm pretty sure it's called kanji, Kanji. And what they do is they take this broken piece, and actually some people have turned it into a newer type of, I'm going to sell this kind of art form where they just break stuff and put it back together. But the Japanese put it back together with gold. And the reason they do that is because these scars are what make us. These lines are what make us. They're the things that have built us, that have strengthened us. And for me, I'm going to take it to my own perspective where gold is a precious metal. These lessons are precious in our life. We may have been broken at one point, but when we put ourselves back together and we heal the right way, you're like that piece of artwork, like beautifully broken, beautifully broken and pieced back together. Sometimes I feel like a puzzle, and there's always that one piece that's like, oh yeah, there it is. Then you stick it back in and another one pops out. Or sometimes the puzzle just stays perfect. But when I first heard that term about kanji, I was just kind of like, wow. It really kind of changed my perspective on healing. And I didn't feel as broken anymore because I realized, you know what? There are things in our lives. Glasses break and they shatter, and sometimes they're just, think of those as being the toxic people in your life. That glass that shattered is just not meant to be in your life anymore. That cup that broke was just not meant to be in your life anymore. Or maybe it was to show you how important it was to you. I had a favorite mug that a family member of mine broke. And it was I get very possessive about my pens and mugs, guys. I was like, why is she using my mug? Then she broke it. She broke the handle right off. And I will say, older sibling did buy me another one. But the thing is I kind of ignored that mug for a while. And I forgot how important it was to me because I had other mugs that I loved. But also, it taught me, be patient, because there's going to be times in life when people are going to try to break you. And it's up to you and how you respond to it. Okay, so try something new. Now, I'm going to read the book because I have a funny feeling it's going to say something completely different than what I just said. So, you'll only know that you can do something. Oh, you'll only know that you can do something if you try. This is apparently something I need to work on. One reason why you may feel bored is that you're doing the same thing over and over. To feel excited about life, you need to try new things. This card asks you to think of something that you've always wanted to do and then learn about it. Ask your family or friends to take you along on their adventures. When you try something new, you may feel funny at first, like it won't work, but just do your best to enjoy yourself and don't worry about being perfect, especially at the start. The more you can relax and have fun, the better everything will go. So sign up for a class where you'll learn something new, like a language, drama, or photography, or maybe take up a new sport, stretch yourself beyond what you think you can do. That's so funny because I've tried language, drama, and photography. You may find that you really enjoy this new activity and you'll most likely make new friends. You'll also find that you will learn new skills that will help you in other areas of your life too. You never know, right? You never know unless you try. You can talk about it, and then never do it. How many people have we all known that have said, whoa, I really want to try this, and then they say, well, maybe one day. I had a quote last week from my gratitude book: someday is not a day of the week. Someday is not a day of the week. So your someday can turn into forever. I know there were a lot of things Sissy wanted to do that she never did. And then she passed away, and she never did them. I have a friend, Bunny, always wanted to go to Montana, wanted to be around the horses on the ranches. Her grandson gave her that opportunity. She never took that trip. And then she passed away because she got sick. She started having heart problems. And she didn't do it because she was afraid that everybody else around her needed her. When everybody else around her was saying, we love you, we'll be here when you get back, we'll still be the same people when you get back, and you can take care of us then. But she gave up herself for other people's needs. And for whatever reason, I don't know, because I knew some of the people around her, and they were all telling her to go, just go enjoy yourself. This is your dream. This was your bucket list dream. And I feel like she's talking to me now because there's so many things that I've talked about wanting to do that I've never done. And I think that's an important reminder for all of us. Try something new. And, as far as what I was talking about, I think this can apply to it too. When you try something new, you may feel funny at first, like it won't work. But just do your best to enjoy yourself and don't worry about being perfect, especially at the start. The more you can relax and have fun, the better everything will go. When you flip the narrative from the negative to the positive, you were giving yourself that shot. You're giving yourself that opportunity to grow. And yeah, it might feel funny at first because it's not something you're used to. Just embrace it. Change is weird and change can be scary, but it can also be super fun. If you just trust the process. So water. Drink more water and eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. This one might actually be for me. But also, it made me think of a tweet I saw this morning, which was actually on Facebook. And, it was a Facebook thing, but this person's also on Twitter. But a friend posted it. And I don't know who this person is. I'd never seen it. It was just in my feed somehow. And they were talking, they're part of the Cree Nation, which I believe is in Canada. And, one of their First Nations, and they were talking about how they were raised to believe that water is a spirit. So when you're feeling down, you're feeling low, find that water, find that running water, and just run it through your hair, maybe splash it on your face. And, I know that not everybody lives near water. You can bless your own water. You can find your own stream water. You can take tap water, set it out in the sunlight or the moonlight. I know that might seem like some hocus pocus shit to some people, but you know what? What you're doing is you're energizing it. You can pray over it if you pray. And if you want, carry it in a little spray bottle. Stick it, if you have a bag, stick it in your purse. If you need that refreshing thing, like maybe your energy feels all crappy, but you have this blessed water in your bag, you can run it through your hair. You can spray it on your face because you know what it's for. Other people might say, why are you spraying water on yourself? Don't worry about what they think. If it works for you, don't worry. What other people think about you is none of your business. However, out of all those people that may be saying, really? There might be that one person that says, do you mind if I try? And because you're sharing that with them and they're tapping into your vibe, it could change their day. Maybe even a lot of times it's like a placebo effect in a way. And I'm not saying it's not real, because I do believe in spirits of all different sorts that are there to help us. But that spritz of water in somebody's face or their hair, that might be the rejuvenation they need, because they're going to feel that energy coming from you. They're going to feel the love and the energy you put into creating this thing. And I say that because I realize we don't all have running water near us. And some of us that do, not the water you want to stick your hands on. It's not a fresh river or a fresh stream. Okay, it's like a man-made stream with chlorine in it. And, speaking of chlorine, if you have a pool, go use a pool. Okay, water is the spirit. But just be careful what you're splashing and where you're splashing, all right? That's why I said, if you have a bottle, I might even, I think I'm going to try that. I am absolutely 100% going to try that. So, for that refreshing moment, all right? So, let's see what else they have to say about water. Let's see, water. But I like that. I really like that idea, because I am a water baby, so when I dunk myself in water, it's amazing. To feel good, your body needs to have water and foods that have water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables. This card asks you to drink a lot more water as a way to fuel your energy. I drink a lot of water. I drink like over 120 ounces a day. When your body doesn't have enough water, you may feel tired and not be able to think well. So carry a water bottle with you and drink from it a lot. Yeah, this is basically just, this card can also mean that swimming or bathing in water would make you feel happy and healthy. There you go. There it is. You can also pray over your drinking water and food, and the prayers will make your meals even more healthy and tasty. Or you can spritz it on yourself and just rejuvenate. Okay. All right, let's see what the next one is. Brothers and sisters. To get along with others, see the love and the best within them. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. I have a funny feeling that the book and I are going to say the same thing, so I'm just going to jump right to the book. Brothers and sisters. Do unto others, right? Do unto others. To get along with others, see the love and the best within them. Again. Sometimes family members take stress out on each other, so you may feel angry or hurt by a brother or sister or a close friend. Instead of fighting with them, first take a moment. Can you see the best within them? Can you think of a time when you felt a lot of love for them? By thinking and feeling love toward your brothers and sisters, you can all get along better. The more unlovable someone is, the more they need love. When people get angry at their loved ones, they do so because they don't know how to control the stress in their life. They might be angry with their teacher or boss and feel like they can't do anything about it. So they take the anger out on the people they live with, and that might include you. You may do the same thing to your family members without even knowing it. Deep down, you all love each other. Family members always have love, but sometimes this love is hidden by anger. It doesn't feel good to be angry with your brothers and sisters, even if you have a good reason for the anger. Can you forgive them in the name of peace? Can you be the first one to say, I'm sorry, or I love you? By drawing this card, the unicorns want you to know that your brother, sister, or friend really needs your love and understanding right now. You have the power to help everyone get along. I'm going to add to that. It may not just be your brothers, your sisters, or a close friend. It could be anybody in your life. It could be a family member you might be feeling a little left out of their life. But there might be a reason. Maybe they're hurting. Maybe they don't realize they're hurting. Maybe they have their own angers or their own issues that they don't want to bother you with because they think you worry about them already too much. Whatever the case is, and I'm not talking about people who are toxic in your life, okay? I'm talking about people who are in your life right now that you need to communicate with more clearly. And if you have tried to communicate with them clearly and it doesn't work out, then it's like this says, just send them that love. Just show them that love. Just be there for them. I think this is a big lesson for me too. Sometimes we can't live somebody else's life for them, but we can try to be more understanding of what they might be going through, whether we know what it is or not. So again, just adding the part. By drawing this card, the unicorns want you to know that your brother, sister, or friend, or anybody who is close to you really needs your love and understanding right now. You have the power to help everyone get along. Oh, interesting. Forgive. It's time to let go of the anger or blame. I'm just going to go to the book on this one because, yeah, hi, that's pretty self-explanatory to me. And I basically just said it. I will add this. We can be angry at people when we feel like we're not seen. We can be angry at people when we feel like they don't care. But people have their own stuff going on. I know there's some people out there who probably say, well, geez, she has a lot of nerve to say what she says because, she's a terrible friend to me. I'm not the best communicator sometimes, I admit. But I do my best. And there are times when I'm fighting through my own darkness that I do struggle to reach out to other people. And I think sometimes it has cost me in the end, because a lot of people don't understand that I do battle a dinged up mental health. And it is so much better now because I took that time to understand myself. I took that time to get to know me and how to balance, my own personal way of balancing my mental health. And I think sometimes we do forget and we want to blame everybody else. So I wasn't going to share this, but I have to say, because I think this will really help, that sometimes we have to forgive ourselves. I was telling older sibling last night after I talked to my friend online that, after I got off of the messenger chit chat, I told older sibling, I said, I was just journaling and I figured a lot out. And I realized that, these three very significant people in my life, I've been worried that they don't need me anymore. I've been worried that they're not gonna, turn to me for certain things or bounce things off of me anymore, or just reach out or love me or care about me. And they're all family members. And I've been afraid of that. And then I realized, sorry, now I'm getting emotional because I'm actually physically feeling this now than I did last night. I realize I've been hiding myself within their lives because I've been afraid to live my own. I haven't had that peace of mind. I've been afraid of putting myself out there because I've been afraid that, people just won't see who I am on the inside. The outside is just my outer shell. But inside is my inner shell, my inner Shelly Marie. And that's this ginormously amazing person, personality wise, charismatic. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. These are things that people have said to me that I have refused to believe because I didn't feel worthy, because I didn't have that self-respect. I didn't have that self-love. I'm not conceited. I'm just starting to see my worth, but I didn't see it before. And I put my worth in the hands of other people because I know this is going to come out wrong, and even older sibling misunderstood it when I said it, but I, in my head, made myself more important to the people I love and care about than I actually was. And that doesn't mean they don't love me. That doesn't mean they don't think I'm important. I made myself believe that they could not live a life without me participating in it. And that was really wrong on my part. Really wrong. And that was because I put my value in these people. Instead of valuing myself, I placed my value in the hands of other people. And it finally got to a point where it really kind of shot me in the foot. And I had to come clean, and I had to put that mirror up to my face, and I had to remind myself, you know what? You have to start seeing you. You've got to stop hiding behind other people because you're afraid to live your own life. And I think that's why I felt neglected. I think that's why I felt like nobody saw me anymore. I think that's why I put a lot of things on other people, like friends and other family members, that I thought, wow, you know what? I just feel like I was thrown away. And I wasn't. People have their own stuff that they deal with. People have their own crap to go through. And I always try to be there for everybody, even in my lowest moments. But I realized in that moment I had to stop hiding myself, in within their lives. That I have to shine. I have to rise and live my own. The world is not going to fall apart if I go and live my life. It's just going to get better. Even if it just gets better for me. It might get better for everybody else. I don't know. I can't tell you because I'm not there yet, because I haven't allowed myself to be there yet. And so I like this card because I think it's time to forgive myself and to let go of my anger or my blame. Because really, what is it when they say, when you're pointing your finger, there's 3 more pointing back at you? I had put my animosity in the wrong place, and some of it was accurate. I do believe some of it was accurate, but again, like I said, I don't know what other people are going through, and if they don't want to communicate clearly with me and just bounce things off of me or share with me, I can't help that. I talked about that with older sibling last night. Baby sibling and I had a little bit of a conversation about it this morning, and both of them said, well, communicate. And it's like, yeah, I tried. Not that easy. Sometimes people don't want to hear what you have to say because it might be too hard to face, or it might hurt too much. So, sometimes you got to roll with the punches and just, like baby sibling said, just gratitude it. Just put out the gratitude, see what happens. And that's what I need to do. But I also need to start living my own life and stop trying to hide from the world. I have a lot to put into this world. And I think I do it every day, regardless of how many people watch or don't watch. One day, I think someone will just run right through these. I don't know who watches these after I post them out there in social media. I don't look. I don't look because I'm too afraid to look, because honestly, I'm not sure it's that many people. I don't have that many subscribers, but I still do it because I know there's messages out there people need to hear. Not just Oracle Friday, but Monday through Friday, when we have topics, when we have subjects. Right now, like I said, we're doing the gratitude lessons. 28 of them. We're only going to be on 13 on Tuesday, 13 and 14. But sometimes we need to forgive and just let people make their own mistakes, or let people find their own path, which may not be a mistake. I'm just saying, sometimes we see people and we're like, oh, I really want to say something. You can't. The only way we learn is by making our own mistakes. When they want your input, they will ask. Until then, just be a good Baymax and just, they're there, everything will be okay. And hopefully it will. But you cannot halt your life for other people. So, it's time to let go of blame or anger. Are you blaming someone or something? Are you feeling angry? This card tells you that blame and anger are holding you back. Blame takes away your power and gives it to the other person. You have a lot of power, and one way to feel it is by letting your anger go. You don't need to forgive the other person's actions if they really hurt you, but you do need to stop seeing that person as an enemy, because this anger is toxic to you and your body. You know that happy thoughts make your life happy, while angry thoughts can bring more anger into your life. The unicorns know that this isn't what you want, so they ask you to give your anger to them and also to your angels. Being free of anger and blame gives you more power and energy and makes you feel happy. Are you mad at yourself for some reason? If so, this card means that you need to forgive yourself. You can learn from the past and grow much stronger by letting go of anger towards yourself. You can do this by understanding why you acted as you did. You probably had a good reason for your actions at the time. Now, after thinking about it, you may wish that you had acted differently, but regrets aren't helping unless they help you learn. Everyone is learning as they go through life, even adults. Do your best to understand this, and you'll be able to let go of anger toward yourself and others. This is what it means to forgive. That is truly what it means to forgive. And here's another scenario. There's a lot of times when we beat ourselves up because we think, you know what, every time I got this close, I gave up on myself. I stopped. I didn't pull through the way I should have pulled through. Sometimes I have a little inkling sometimes of why we do that. When we lose things in our life, or when big events happen that scare us, sometimes we're afraid of having that complete joy because we're worried about it getting sucked away from us. And that's a big hurdle to jump. That's a big hurdle to jump. I think I kind of have, it's weird. I have this, I keep seeing my mom in my head, and I'm trying to understand what the message is, and I am struggling with this. So I have no idea what the message is, but I just keep thinking about loss. When we lose something so powerful in our lives that we're afraid to move forward. Maybe that's one of the other things that holds me back. I'm afraid to move forward because I lost two very significant people in my life within 10 months of each other. I mean, very, very significant. And I mean, these are people I'd known for a couple decades. Well, besides my mom, who I'd known forever. But they significantly impacted my life. And I think a lot of times that held me back because there's so much stuff that even though they're gone, I feel like, oh, well, would they approve of me doing this? Who fucking cares? Okay? If you feel something is right in your heart, do it. If you need to forgive yourself for not moving forward in the direction you think you should have been moving on in, do it. Be your own person. Stand up for your own truths. You don't need to force your beliefs on other people. Just everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Sometimes we get a little carried away and we try to overemphasize our opinions. But if you're going to have a conversation, have it maturely. Go in knowing that everybody has their own opinion, whether you agree with it or not. Some people just don't want to move away from what they know. Some people just want to be angry about something. Maybe there's so much pain inside of them that they don't know how else to deal with it but to be angry. And it may not even be a conscious effort. Sometimes this stuff happens. This is what happened to me. Hurt people hurt people. Right? I'll say that again slower. Hurt people hurt people. Or you can add something in there other than a comma. Hurt people will hurt people. And it's not intentional. It's just an outlet. And it's just like that other card said about the brothers and sisters or the close friend or family member or whatever. When someone hurts you somewhere else, you may go home and take it out on other people. Or you may feel safe enough to be able to take it out on them because they'll forgive you. I think sometimes it's what happened with Sissy and Mom and I. Sometimes I think things were taken out on me or vice versa because we knew we'd be okay in the end. Was it healthy? Hell no. That's called breaking a cycle. And that's what I did. And I'm sure sometimes I say things that hurt people that I don't mean to. And I'm still a work in progress. I'm really trying to move away from that. Because I don't want my mental health and all the things that troubled me throughout my life that, I had to keep a secret that only I knew had happened. I don't want that to hurt other people anymore. I don't want to use it like a whip and say, well, I'm feeling triggered and in pain today, so everybody's going to pay for it. No. That's why shit doesn't get done. That's why shit doesn't get done in this world. People are so angry. If we learn how to forgive and we learn how to take a step back and we start maybe putting ourselves in other people's shoes and why they're coming from where they're coming from, maybe we'll have a little more understanding. I'm not saying believe what they believe. If you're full on safe and feeling the way you're feeling, fine. If it's not correct, you'll find the correct answer genuinely down the road. But until then, just be you. Just do you. Forgive yourself if you need to be forgiven. Forgive other people if they need to be forgiven. Forgiving other people does not mean you need to let them back in your life. It simply means that you are letting yourself go and taking your own power back. Okay? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I love how Oracle Fridays always go so damn long. I think it's because I picked so many decks. And look, we didn't even get to the last one. But I do like the cards for today. We had communicate clearly. And when you do that, trust that what you're communicating is clear. Don't stop while you're on your way to the goal. And you'll end up with your yes. All right? So, have a great, great day. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend here in the United States. And for any expats who may celebrate overseas, it is the 4th of July on Monday. A lot of controversy for some reason going on about that. But you know what? This is a country based on being free. So, we may have our struggles. We may have our issues. But you know what? We still have that freedom of speech. So if anybody is disagreeing with one another or everybody's getting all upended on social media and trying to, outdo each other with anger, I want you to remember one thing, no matter what side you stand on. You have a right to free speech. Not everybody in this world has that. So be grateful for that. Be grateful that you were allowed to say the things that you say. And try not to be hurtful. Maybe if we stop trying to be so hurtful and so know-it-all-y. There's people on their social media that say, well, you could do this, that, or the other. Until you are in somebody else's shoes, you have no fucking idea what they're going through. All right? So you can put out your 1 through 5 steps that you could do. Because if you haven't experienced their pain, that's all they are. Life does not come with an instruction book. Okay? We wing it. We wing it from birth. From womb to tomb, we're winging it. So wherever you are in this world, do celebrate however you want to celebrate. Watch your pets and animals because they can be highly sensitive to fireworks. All right. If you have pets and animals, don't keep them outside. When dogs get scared, they will break loose and they will run. Keep them in the house. All right. Keep them safe. I know people think that's stupid, and some people are like, oh my God, they're just animals. They're not just animals. They feel and they hear. Put them in a room with soothing music. That may not drown out the fireworks, but it will help. And also, it's getting hotter now. If you live somewhere hot and you go walking your dog, asphalt gets super, super hot. Put some shoes on them. Yes, they make little paw protectors. All right? I mean, not everybody has a backyard where their animals can go. So if you live in an apartment or whatever, please take note. Your poor little babies, they're not wearing shoes like you are. All right, so those are all the things I have to say. Don't forget, there will be no perspective on Monday. The Aloha perspective is taking a holiday for Monday, and I will do gratitude number 13 and 14 on Tuesday. I will, however, if I remember, do a TikTok for Monday's gratitude. All right, so maybe we'll see. So anyways, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, everybody have a great and safe weekend. Drink responsibly. Have a DD if you need one. Be careful. Stay hydrated. And most importantly, have a good time. Try something new. Push yourself to try something new. Even if it's something small. Baby steps lead to giant steps. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I will see everybody back here Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time under Shelly Marie Lucas. This is live and it is public. Anybody can watch, or I upload these later to YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie, and then I share them to Twitter. Have a great, great day.